Hello everyone, it's Sofaya and my mum Bernie.
Hiya.
Who is joining me for this month's Q&A, sponsored by my lovely patrons on Patreon. And the theme for this month is small business, because when I first had one of my, when we just kind of were going for general questions before, I had a couple of small biz questions, so I thought, okay, let's pop them in one video. I've only got 3 questions, but there's some meaty questions.
Yeah.
There's some meat, especially the first one. There's a pretty meaty question. It could be a whole video on its own, to be honest. So we're just gonna get into it. Okay.
And what is your first one?
My first question is, and I actually can't remember who asked me this question because it was a couple months ago, so I'm sorry. But my first question is, how did you first start your business and how has it shaped and grown? And this is kind of one of the reasons why I wanted Mum here, because I am visiting my parents, so I thought she might as well. Because she's obviously been along for the journey with me through...
I've been a witness to it all.
So like multiple phone calls of me being like, Mum, what should I do? Help me.
Like, you know what to do, you know what to do.
Mum is my sounding board for sure. So how did you first start your business? How's it shaped and grown? So the story so far, let's call it that. Let's do the story so far. And so I started Headblush actually I was about to say 2016, but actually the Headblush account, do you remember?
How long ago?
But do you remember that? So I've always been a bit into makeup, because look at this one. And
Didn't always like it though.
No, well I liked parts of it.
Yes.
Lipstick, I didn't like lipstick, that's what she
didn't
did.
like this bit.
But I like lipstick now. But when I was doing my masters, so I have a masters in women's and gender studies, and I had a whole 6-month period for doing my dissertation, and I wasn't working or anything at the time, and I needed some respite and some fun, so I got really into colourful and creative makeup. And I did have my own Instagram account, but then I was like, do you not remember when I was here writing my dissertation and I was like,
oh, I do remember.
people are going to get annoyed because all I'm doing is posting makeup now. So I should make a separate makeup Instagram
And that
account.
helped you get through your dissertation, as in like a bit of respite, as you said, like doing something different.
But do you not remember that I was like, I need a name.
Oh, I remember the thing about the name. Yeah, we really had to...
I was very specific about, like, I want to have a good name.
Yes.
So we actually took all that time, back in probably 2015, to come up with a good handle, which just became my name and my business name and my, it's still there. And it's still great.
Kept going.
Because we love a pun. I love a pun. So Headblush, if you didn't know, is a pun, because it's supposed to be like head brush, but blusher.
Yes, that's what we've thought about. It's all about the head, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
I don't know. I can't really remember much beyond that.
There was other names that you had, but we just I
don't remember what they
I don't remember But I think it was head other things, and then it came on to Headblush. Yeah.
But I've had Headblush since 2000, the Headblush Instagram account since 2015, and have gone by that name. So I've never had a different name. And so in 2016, I was working for a language school, because a lot of my kind of work background is working in language centres and stuff for foreign language students.
Yeah.
And I hated it. The job was shit. My boss was shit.
Oh, that was a hard time.
And it was really hard. It knocked my confidence in a really big way.
Did. Mm-hmm.
In a huge way. It
was hard to actually see that, because Sofaya, you were always that person, knew what you wanted, knew what you thought, and it started to like dwindle a bit.
It just chipped away at my confidence.
Yeah.
And I remember that I wanted to quit anyway, and then they made me part-time, and I was like, I'm fine with that. And I was just like, I need to leave. I remember talking to Dad a lot and being like, I need to leave. And that's what kind of forced me to like, right, I don't want to have a boss anymore. Because I didn't like my boss at all. So I was like, that's the problem. A boss. So I don't want to have a boss anymore. So I think I quit in March 2016. And I was pursuing different things. So I worked with a group called Brighton Girl for a really long time, but that's a whole different story, so we won't talk about that. But at the same time, I kind of had my two passions that I thought I would pursue, which was, one was makeup artistry and the other one was proofreading, believe it or not, because I've done loads of proofreading in my background. So I kind of did both. And then I remember just having this big thing about, oh my god, I worked on Upwork for a couple of weeks doing social media for a lady. That was awful as well. But it came to the point where I was like, right, I think I need to go and get another job because this is too much pressure to like. It was very, very early days.
But the plan, because you had plans in place before you left, I think, the job, didn't you?
But it was so fresh, and both of them were so new, and I was getting a bit of money, but I just wasn't getting enough.
Yeah.
So I went back to work for my original language school for a summer.
Because you weren't involved in that office then, were you?
The other language school. I'm not saying names for reasons.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, from there, where Headblush really started to kind of become what it is now, or on a path to what it is now, was I worked with a lovely woman called Erica Marks, who is a coach. I can't think of what kind of coach she is now, but it was this, what was the program called? It was something you, it was like Wonderful You or something like that, and it was with 5 or 6 women around the world. Erica was in the US. And we did these calls every week, and it kind of like just expanded my ideas, and it was Erica that gave me the first idea of, well, why couldn't you just do a pop-up for Halloween? Because I fucking love Halloween.
Oh my god, that was a big one.
Yeah, and I was really dealing with the thing of like, I'm to do makeup, like I'm gonna have to do weddings, I have to do bridal, I'm going to just have to do general makeup. Should I go in for like doing TV makeup? Like, because I don't have any qualifications when it comes to beauty, by the way. None. And so I felt like a fraud, and I wouldn't call myself a makeup artist for the longest time. And then it was Erica that really gave me the idea of, but you can just do what you want to do. And that whole thing just was like, whoa, are you having hot flash?
I'm having hot flash, sorry.
I thought you were too old for that.
No, still get them.
But yeah, it was do a Halloween pop-up, and I was so nervous.
Yeah, because you remember you had to try and find somewhere to actually have it,
like a room. Yeah.
Yes.
And
you didn't know. Yeah, because you didn't know whether to do it outside or like what does this pop-up mean? Like where do I go to do this pop-up?
They were just like every single element was just like a million questions. Yeah. But I did actually find a room in Brighton, central Brighton, and it wasn't a little bit of a back alley place, but it was in central Brighton. And for Halloween, I put up for like however many days it was of Halloween 2016, and said like these are the different kinds of looks that you can get. And there was a Brighton Girl party as well, which I went to afterwards, and I did everyone there as well. And I wasn't finished until like midnight. I didn't get to like enjoy any of the party at all. Yeah. But just that whole thing of like,
and you love Halloween.
I love Halloween, and it was exhausting, and it was grey, and it was just like the first taste of, oh, this is what I make it to be. This can be whatever I want it to be.
Whatever you want, whatever you like to do. Yeah. You did some really good looks.
Yeah, I still have the pictures. I still have the pictures. But that was a really, really big deal. And then after doing a Halloween pop-up, I was like, right, what other kind of makeup-based pop-ups can I do? And it was coming Christmas, so glitter.
How did the glitter come into it?
Is that because it's Christmas?
But do you know,
Christmas equals glitter. For a makeup pop-up.
Was it from Halloween though? Did you do some glitter in the Halloween bit? I can't remember.
I think not necessarily. No, because then I there was a Brighton Girl Christmas party, and that's where I first actually had the glitter bar in a slightly different form. Like I would mix all the glitters and stuff in front of people. I don't do that anymore. It's all pre-done. But yeah, when people ask me, "Wow, how did you get started doing glitter bar?" I'm like, it was a fluke.
Yeah.
It came after Halloween, and I just tried it, and then people have wanted it ever since.
Yeah.
And it's
who
like,
doesn't love a bit of glitter?
It's crazy, exactly. Who doesn't love a bit of glitter? I
mean, that
I don't want to talk about this too much.
Yes. Okay.
Because I could literally talk about this forever. And let's do the other highlights, shall we? So when I was doing the glitter bar, I was absolutely ruthless at emailing bars, emailing clubs. I emailed the school, Rodine, which I was doing, I was temping at, and did it for one of their events. Oh, yeah. Anybody I could email and be like, let me tell you about this thing that I do. That's how I kind of earned my stripes.
Yes.
In terms of glitter bar, I used to go and pitch at pubs and clubs, and I'm talking Prism in Brighton, right? You know, if you know Brighton, I'm talking Prism. I can't believe I ever did it there. That's like the liquid of of Brighton or whatever.
Goes, yeah.
With all the drunk people, and would have to convince them to give me £5 to put glitter on their face. Earned my stripes for sure. Then I moved to just doing private jobs mainly, and I did do pictures for like Pride and stuff, but pictures became just a bit of a like, I'm an anxious person now. It's kind of probably around when I developed my anxiety. I was like, I can't go and pitch anymore because the unknown is quite difficult to deal with. Yeah. And then I started doing products because everyone was like, what is this? Because all of the stuff that I was doing was my glitters already pre-mixed with an adhesive, and people loved that.
Yeah, because usually you just
it was
get the glitter, wouldn't you,
convenient.
and then people would do it themselves, whatever.
Yeah, like it goes where you put it, so you get to have design. So I started making products, but then it was like, okay, let's figure out what I like a bit more and what I don't like a bit more with the glitter. So I stopped doing pictures. I was like, that's enough. I don't want to do that anymore. And then in February 2020, I stopped selling my glitter. And that was a really, really huge decision.
It was.
Because I woke up one day after Christmas holidays and I sat down to start working at Headblush, and I was like, I don't want to do it. So I was like, this is a bigger problem than just me needing a couple of weeks off. There's something here, and it's not what I want. It's not what I'm passionate about anymore.
I love how you got to that place. Like you could understand yourself, like that you've got to that bit where you knew, actually, this is what it is that I don't want to do anymore.
But that was like a really long. It felt like, I suppose it wasn't a long process, but to me,
but it was a bit of a build up
because I was there.
Yeah.
It felt like a really big involved process. I took January of 2020 off to work through the Indie Roller handbook. Shout out to Indie Roller, who's a community group that I love for small businesses. And I worked through the handbook, and that's what I remember writing down for the first time. Maybe it's just because I don't want to sell products. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I said it. I can't believe I said it. Like, close my book, like, deal with the ramifications of what I've just said. But once I wrote it down, I was like, that's what it is. Can't get away from it. It's the products. I don't want to sell products.
And you don't miss not selling them?
Nope. No. People even ask me about them today, and I'm like, no, it's not coming back. It's not coming back. I would never say never. But right now, me making them, no, just I don't want to sell stuff. And that was
process.
That was kind of part of like me figuring out like what's missing from Headblush, because I have a background in women's and gender studies, as we say, and although I love makeup and it's creative and it's self-expression and how transformational it can be, I mean I know this now. At the time I couldn't really put it into words, but I really despise the beauty industry because they go against what I believe in terms of how people should look, how people should behave, that people should get rid of their body hair. So I was just kind of figuring that out and figuring out, like, because I love working with people, and I wanted to, you know what I'm like therapist Sofaya.
Yeah. She's even great with me. I mean, rather than her come to me. I mean, she does come to me to sign off me.
But you come to me too.
I do come to you, definitely. And you're just great at just being grounded and about. And the thing is, it's not so much you can give advice, but you actually make me realise, you make the person realise what they...
The answers were within you all the time.
It's just
Anyone
brilliant.
that's had a makeup confidence consultation with me knows that I'm just like, well, you know the answer. And even with some of my patrons, I know they're like, you know what I'm going to say. But I know that you still need me to say it.
Yes. Yes.
So now, yeah, obviously... So... Yeah, that was February 2020, kind of starting to figure out that stuff. And then obviously the pandemic, I was like, the glitter bar's gone. Entertainment services gone overnight. But I had already started the process of being like, right, I do want to diversify Headblush and change it up and or add to it, really. I don't want it just to be this, yay, let's have fun all the time, frivolous kind of stuff. Like there's a place for that kind of decadence and fun. But then there's a place for, wait, let's think about why you feel that way. Let's think about why you feel like you can't wear bright lipstick or why you even feel like you have to wear makeup at all. Like, and so that's why now I'm so happy I'm come to a place where, you know, I'm kind of teaching, really, I guess, my beliefs and doing some kind of level of coaching with people like I do with you and
yeah, I mean,
my
look at me.
closest.
Look at me. I would never have gone outside without my makeup on.
I thought you still don't.
Sometimes I do now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Sometimes I do now.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Whether that has something to do with how you like you don't have to wear your makeup outside, Mum, you know? You don't have to like have your makeup on to feel okay. Okay, I put it on for this.
Baby steps.
Yeah, baby steps. But then your pretty little face like you. And there's an old mug.
No, you're not. You're gorgeous. I had to convince her to stop dyeing her hair because she had a bad scalp. And look at this. Look at this. Do you know how many people I show and they're like, wow.
Woo.
And you were so
know.
hell-bent on you were never going to go grey. My 84-year-old granny, Mum's mum, still has her hair dyed.
Her hair. And she still can't get over
But like, look,
she'll get over
you're
her daughter's.
gorgeous.
Because my other sister, she
Got a
went
little
grey as well.
Cruella de Vil thing going on.
Cruella de
But anyway, that was one question and it's been nearly 20 minutes. Yeah.
But you got to this place now, you know what it's about and what
I'm happy
you
with
want
where it's
from
going.
being.
Yeah. You know, I'm working with people, I'm doing courses, I'm doing calls, I'm creating the kind of content that I want to create. Oops. Well, just tell me that and I'll stop it.
Stop it.
Okay. Pee break. Let me come over. Oh, there you go. Put your arm like that. That's
go.
nice. Oh, to be cozy. Okay.
For how long, I don't know, but yeah.
Okay. The second question is, with Instagram, how on earth did I keep up that energy and new ideas for 90 days?
Whoa.
So
yes.
the context of that is from January to March of this year, of 2021, I posted every single day for 90 days. From the 1st of January to the 31st of March. Actually, no, that's probably more than 90 days. But yeah, you get it.
Yeah.
And
that's the plan.
so, I'm going to sit up actually because that's not a...
Okay.
There we go. So in October of 2020, I decided to do the Good Gram with dear old Lucy Sheridan, and
Which is a course, yeah?
Which is a course. Look it up. It's an amazing course for Instagram, and it's more than just Instagram, isn't it? It's not just like how to post stuff on Instagram. It's super involved, and it was 12. I want to say 12 weeks. Yeah, 12-week course, and we had a session like every. How many modules did we have? I feel like maybe we had 6 modules or something. So many calls. Oh my god. An amazing Facebook group. All to do with kind of, I guess raising your profile and bringing together a brand as to be presented through Instagram. And Lucy gave us a 90-day planner. So that was kind of what gave me the idea to just do it. Like, I wanted to grow my audience. I think I was probably on like 1,500 or something before that, 1,500-ish. It's not like I was small. It's, yeah,
No,
but
you hadn't really kind of thought deeply about it.
no, I hadn't thought deeply about it, and I hadn't really thought about what Headblush was now. Now that I'd done, you know, I stopped selling products and I went down. So I had two Instagram accounts. One I had for Headblush, which was me and my makeup, and then I had for Headblush Glitter, which was for the glitter bar and glitter products. So I closed Headblush Glitter down. That was in 2020, and I just came to have Headblush as one account. So kind of with everything that had happened with the pandemic and me kind of taking an arm of my business out of it and that kind of thing, I'd never really thought about, like, what am I really using my Instagram for? Am I just chatting to people, or have I actually got a business and a brand here? You know, am I treating it as such? And so that's kind of what the Good Gram got me to do, was think about it in that way, as a unified business with like things to say and things to sell. So I just decided I was going to do it. I don't know, and I can be like that sometimes, can't I? Like, I can have this resolve where I'm like, it doesn't even matter how I feel about it, because I'm going to do it. The decision's been made. I wouldn't say it happens a lot, but when it happens, I have that clarity and I have that feeling where I just know I'm going to do it.
Yeah, you're definitely like that.
Kind of determined. I'm stubborn. I'm really fucking
I knew that
stubborn.
when you were 4.
I'm stubborn and I'm petty. So even if I, if you know, part of Sofaya didn't want to do it, like the other petty part was like, no, you are going to do it because you said you were going to do it, so do it. So I use a spreadsheet. I'm a spreadsheet queen. I love a spreadsheet. And this planner that Lucy gave us was in spreadsheet form, and I just plugged in every day what I was going to do. Wasn't it?
That was brilliant, wasn't it? I mean, when you showed me that, and like how you have to, it's not like how you have to plan out, but it's such a good tool to have to plan out what you, and to organise it exactly. And even where you want like certain pictures and things. And,
I think it was because like it was kind of depending on like, what do I have to say this week, or what content do I have to push out this week. And when it's just in a spreadsheet form, you know, because I've tried like Plannerly and all of those apps for planning it visually, but when a spreadsheet's not visual, really, it's just text, isn't it? You can't plug your pictures in there. So when you put it, me just sitting in front of my spreadsheet, I was just like, well, this is just a decision I have to make. I've just got to decide what's going to go there, and that's it.
It's a big commitment, I think. And when you showed me the spreadsheet and what you're doing, I'm like, oh my god, so much work has to go into something like this.
Yeah,
it is, isn't it?
And so I will say, for 90 days, my priority was Instagram, and that was it. I wasn't really prioritising selling things.
No.
It kind of it did happen a bit as a effect of posting so often. And that's how I got my first makeup course. The reel for my first makeup course was sandwiched between two really popular reels of mine. Wasn't even intentional. So I got like 5,000 views on that reel, and I got all 6 or 7 slots for my first makeup course. Just tick. Done. It was amazing. It definitely raised my profile. I now have like 2,750 followers, so I gained over 1,000 followers. And yeah, but so Mum really helped me with my planning every week. So we had it started in December, I think, so just before, and then we stopped having them like a couple months ago for a break, but we had a standing meeting.
Yes.
And I said to Mum, this is a meeting. Put it in your calendar, because I'm a calendar girl as well. 1 o'clock on Sunday, every Sunday.
Yep.
And I would
get myself organised for 1 o'clock, and you show me your ideas, and then
I show you like how the ones from the week before had gone.
That's right.
And then we would kind of decide what I've got. And on Thursdays were my day for content creation, weren't they? To do my makeup looks and make my TikToks and reels, which I just love making. But yeah, Mum was a huge help. It was so good to, you know, as a
I would just give you ideas, maybe when you start, I'm not too sure what to do with this, and I was like, well, have you thought about doing something like that, or you've got pictures, or you want to do some makeup looks like this, and maybe you'd say no.
Yeah,
but we'd get
no.
somewhere in the end, wouldn't we?
Yeah. Even just having someone to talk to about it, who was taking it, who for that allotted time was taking it as seriously as I take it, was such a big help.
And I'd be always looking for everything. I was like, oh, she's done it. Oh, she's done it. Let me see. Oh, yes.
But it also was a really nice opportunity for us to just like connect.
Yeah, it was
more,
good,
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because we live 3 hours away from each other, and I do call every week. I think we talk to each other every week, but like,
oh my God,
that was like, you knew everything that was happening with Headblush.
Yes. That was it's good.
Yeah, I missed that because now I think you don't know what's happening with Headblush.
I know. I keep seeing things come up like, she did that. Oh, I didn't know she was going to do that. I mean, not that I would, but
Right, our time is getting on, so I'm going to move on to the last question, really quick.
But it was good and it
this
worked.
was from this question's from Laura. Thank you, Laura. Which is, what's the best piece of advice you've been given in a small business sense?
So what is the best piece of advice?
And so I talked about this a little bit in beforehand with Mum, because it's like, oh my God, that's a lot of pressure. My best ever piece of advice that I've been given. So I've been given a lot of advice. I've been part of some really great communities. I've been a part of the indie roller community for years now, like 3-4 years, I think. And a lot of my advice comes from the lovely Leona, who I hope, who's one of my patrons and might be watching. And this one definitely does. And it's only something that I've implemented recently. And it is, pay yourself. Pay yourself. Even when you're a tiny, idea in the back of your head.
What is the thought behind it? You're gonna
but what I mean is, like, I feel like people are just like, oh, I just want to do my passion. I'm really passionate about this thing and I want to do it. And it's like, yes, but you will only be able to do it if you can produce an income from it, right? And I think people will find it difficult to kind of attach money to it straight away. I think definitely women, people raised as women and small business owners, and where those things intersect, like, we find it difficult to prioritise money and talk about money and things like that. And I didn't pay myself for like 5 years. I've literally only just started paying myself.
So it's just the money just flowed in and out,
like,
basically.
Literally,
put it back in again.
2 months ago. Literally 2 months ago.
It's crazy when you think about it now.
And we're currently now in July of 2021. And, that's not to say I didn't take money out of the business. Yes, I took money out of the business. But there was no rhyme or reason to it. I would just always keep it for business expenses. And my business expenses would be really high because I was co-working at a co-working space. And 2 months ago, I was like, right, it's time. I love Monzo. I love dividing up my money and organising my money. And Leona had mentioned in one of the modules for the Indie Roller process, the concept of pay yourself first, I think. Oh, no, sorry, profit first, I think it's called, or maybe it's called both of those things. And to boil it down, really, it's a method of dividing all of the money that comes into your business, where you put 5% into profit. That's the profit first. That's the first thing you do. So say you get £100 in, you put £5 right into profit. And then after that, you pay yourself anything between 30 to 50%. That I know the person that does profit first says 50%. I'm doing 35 because of my taxes and all that kind of stuff. And then you do taxes. 15% is what they say. I do 20% here in the UK. And then after that is business expenses, 30%.
It's very clever, isn't it?
But I listened to a couple of podcasts from the guy, I forget his name, I can look it up, that it's like his method is the profit first method, and that's from like years ago, like over a decade ago. Like, he has a book called Profit First, I think, and he was talking about, just the effect that it has on people and small business owners and stuff, and it definitely has that effect. Like, I feel so motivated to sell in my business now. I feel so excited to sell. Before, I found selling like this really difficult or possibly icky thing. Like, you had to be like a double glazing salesman going up to people's doors and stuff. Like, it was this really hard, icky thing. And now I'm like, oh, that's so exciting that I'm getting that money, because I know that 35% of it goes straight into my pocket, and I can get my nails done.
That's good.
So pay yourself. If you're coming to the point where you're like, right, I want this, you don't want it to be a side hustle anymore. You want it to either be part of your income, a serious part of your income, or your full-time job. Pay yourself, figure out your wage, everything comes after that. If you're worried about if the materials and stuff, you know, if the cost is too high, then you need to find a product that is the in-between. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that, because you can go and see it.
But it gives you some worth in yourself when you're in the business and you're part of it, and you're just you're worthy of it. A little bit of the... You're worthy
of a piece of the pie. You're worthy of a piece of the pie, and also I think this can lead you to not resent your business. Because I definitely was feeling like I was resenting it, because I was like, I'm still not seeing anything from it, really. Yeah. What impact is it having on me, apart from pursuing my passion? Because money is really fucking important, and we need to talk more about money, and we need money to survive. Like, I feel like Dad is going to be like, this is what I've been trying to tell you your whole life, Sofaya. But yeah, it's clicked. It's definitely clicked. And seeing that I've got my wages, I've got my little pot in Monzo that says Sofaya's salary, I'm like, that's my money. I can use that for whatever I want. I can, and it just makes the world of difference. Yeah.
So that was the best
advice. Pay yourself.
Excellent.
Pay yourself. Let everything come afterwards.
Excellent.
So... Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you. I was on a little bit of it, but I'm here.
Yeah. Sorry, I know. I was kind of on a mission, because I've got to get through all these questions. So, but I want to do more videos with you.
Oh, do you?
At some point, not today, but like at some point. There is a great video of me doing Mum's makeup, which I'll link below. I don't know why she's embarrassed from it. Like, she's fantastic, and everyone gets to see it in that photo, in that video.
I just lose it. I just lose it a little bit.
That's one of my favourite things about Mum, is that she can totally lose it and just laugh, and it's the best thing ever. I want to say a big thank you to my patrons for sponsoring this content. So I want to say thank you to, this is so I don't forget anyone, because I can be forgetful, Hannah Kate, Laura, Heidi, Chloe, Leona, Jess and Lauren. And before this video, I was saying Lauren, Mum. It's Lauren. So you can say hello to Lauren.
Hi, Lauren.
Thanks, Lauren. Lauren is someone who I know from many years ago in Ipswich, and one of my friends. So yeah,
you had many a sleepover in this room.
This is my. Did I say that this is my teenage bedroom?
Teenage
I'll show you really quickly.
No, it's a mess. No, don't.
Let me just show you the wallpaper. Look at this black, lacy.
And that's her teapots. She went into teapots.
My emo wallpaper. So that's a fun thing. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye. See you next month.